Hey, welcome to Dutchmans Woodchuck slash um, Jeff's Train World. Um, the reason I'm on here, I want to let everybody know about other page or the other channel I have, and it's Jeff's Train World. HO, I mean O gauge and HO. If you go on there and subscribe, you'll see stuff that I'll be posting. Talk about train stuff, pretty much anything that had to do model railroads, and I do get into RCs and some other stuff too at the same time. But um, since I've been gone, I was gone on vacation, and I'm going to be down for a while after next week because I'll have surgery on my hip. So it sounds like I'm down for like 5 or 6 weeks. So what I want to show you guys is what I'm working on. And yes, this is some form of woodworking, by the way. Okay, so now, when I built this layout 102 years ago, back in the start of time, all right, I had no idea what I was doing. No idea. Okay, couple of things I want to explain to you. Now, when you put something like this together, framework makes a big deal. Um, I put this together and I thought originally that I was going to make it just flat and just put it on the top of the plywood. Like a couple of things you ought to know of note. Okay, so if you're a rookie in what model railroading, there's a ton of stuff out there to explain how you should put stuff on here. One of the biggest problem I have is this stuff here is foam board. It's a styrofoam, and I have these little nails that you have to drive through these things. Okay, so this is what they call a flex track. You can move it around, right? And you see how hard it is. It pops up and wants to move around on you. You can move back. But the biggest problem you have with this is keeping it in formation so it doesn't move around. Well, I've had to experiment with this thing. And on this part here, as you can see, it's on plywood, right? That's not so bad. I usually take a nail punch I have a nail punch that's got a little dot in it, and I can drive a nail through it. Now they do have little nails for it, but when you're doing foam board, the problem with foam board is the foam board doesn't hold the nails down. So I've got a couple of things I'll pull out to show you guys what I'm talking about. Maybe if I can find them. Let me see. Let me see here. Well, I'll show you something too. Um, so this is preform track right here, and the preform track, it's already done. It's hard. You don't have to worry about it too much. And all you have to worry about is getting the spacers in there, the clips that hold the track together. That's not a biggie, okay? Flex board. The problem with flex is it moves around. Like I said, it moves around. Now, if I can find my. Okay, so what I have of these things. This is what I was using to put it down with. They're like a T. All right. You would stick it in the hole. And see, my eyes aren't that good anymore, so I mean, you would stick it in the hole and hold it down. And that's basically what you do. And then what I did, see, it goes through, because they're long. You can actually have a couple of options if you want to. One would be you could cut the head out, but the other one is you use glue. Um, so I use liquid nails and I use this stuff. So what I would do when I put this down, you want to put, first off, you want to draw your lines down. You want to put your foam board on. That's what this is. That's what the black stuff is. When you glue that down, then you let it set and you put this in. Now, the key is what I used to do before I glued it, every connection, so you laid the track down pretty much, you go to a certain point, then you stop, then you glue it, put this on and glue it, and then you come back the next day, pull these things out, and start all over again. It took me a while to learn that, because what I was doing, there's these little black nails. I'm trying to find them, sorry. Hang on, I'll be right there. I got it all mixed up with my trains, my RC stuff. I think. Anyway, if I had them, I'd show you, but I can't. They're about like this, a piece of wire, real small. And they would go in and put them, but they're only like a half an inch long. So to get them to stick was a pain in the ass. Hey, what's going on there, guys? Yeah, I do. Thank you. Michigan Gun Dog. Nice to see you guys out there. Thank you. Subscribe to me on here, and then, okay, so my channel, just so you know, my channel on the other one, I can't do lives on it, so I have to do videos and post them. But the more subscriptions I get from you guys on there, the easier it would be for me to open it. I have to get so many people on there before I can actually do lives. But anyway, like you said, I got thousands of hours into this. Okay, so the biggest problem that I had is I didn't do enough research on the track or the switches. And the reason I say that about switches is because I'll put one out here. I think I got one in there somewhere. Yeah, maybe I don't. Anyway. Okay, the switches are a pain in the butt. Okay, these switches here, they easily burn up. So the idea with this is you push it this way and then you go like this. Wait a minute, I have to turn it on first. You slide it. So you slide the other way, it switches. So now this train coming around will derail itself unless I go that way, then it's going this way. But what you do is you got to go like this and push it. Now sometimes these things hang up. Okay, so the idea is to get different switches, and that I'm working on, where it's, I think it's double throw, double pull, whatever. There are these things. Atlas does not make a set of switches that's worth the crap, in my opinion. Plus, what's noteworthy is these screws. If you got big fingers like me, try and put a wire on those screws. The wires 9 times out of 10 are bigger than those screws will hold. So you got to be really ingenious about that. Let's see what else I got here. I mean, yeah, it's a nightmare. Okay, so that was one thing. I'm living with that right now because I'm in the middle of doing some other stuff. So anyway, that works. What the simplest layout is for this is N gauge, so this is it's the second smallest set of trains you can get. Z gauge, I think, is the smallest. This is N gauge. Those Lionels up there, those are what they call O gauge. And I have HO up on the wall here. So the most popular one is HO. And everybody knows what HO is, right? Ho ho! Ha ha! I gotcha. It's this. This is HO. All right. Now, most popular kind of train is an HO one like this. And they're fun, but the problem with this is you have to, again, size makes a difference. Size makes a difference. Get it? And it does, because the bigger, you almost need something a little bit bigger than this. And this is where your dimensions come in. The reason I started out with N gauge is because it's small. I can put it in a smaller space and put more in a smaller space. But that's not necessarily good or bad. The problem you have is you're limited to what you can get with an N gauge. Hey guys, thanks for showing up. Awesome, man. So on the Dutchmans Wood Shack page, until I get that other one figured out, I'm showing people on here how it works. Now, I've got to show you this train I got. I got this for Christmas, right? The only problem is it's a bear trying to put on the trash because there's so many wheels on it. It's ridiculous. I got the anniversary. I get the first anniversary big boy. All right. But look at how many wheels are on there. Okay, so it's what I should do, and this is what I hate about this. This track here has a, let me show you here. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this or not. I'll bring this over so you can see it. I don't know if you can see that. This thing here. Now that's what you need to get your cars on and off with. Because when you go through, I'm going to find something I can put on there. Okay, so for instance, this thing. Okay, you try to put this, because it's so small, this is where HO is a little bit easier. You try to put something on like this and get it on straight. It's hard, right? So what I do is I put it on here like this. See? Voila! Works, right? I gotta stick this on here. Now, another thing is, when you go to couple this train up, you see how it won't work? These, here's the other problem with this. These couplers are old couplers. So see that coupler right there? See that? That's old style. Voila, I'll show you the new ones. You can find the new ones. Where'd they go? Oh, flattered. Okay, so these are the new ones. See that? That's the newer one. Much, much easier. The problem is, I don't have, everything that I've got is on the old ones. Now, I've been over to the Hoppy Shop up in Elgin, B&G Trains. It's over there on Walnut Street in Elgin. It's awesome. They're great help, but the only problem is you got to change those out. Now, I've done this. The easiest part is these wheels pop off. So you can replace the whole unit. And let's see if I got one here. All right. That's what these are. Whoops. Sorry, guys. That's what these are right here. See? So you can actually replace that whole thing. Now, the idea is take this. You can, there's a couple of kits, right? So you can take this off and put the new hooks in it. I've got them in here somewhere. They got to figure out how to do that. But what I want to do now, the idea here, I'll show you guys something here. What I want to do, see now I've got switches here for lights and stuff like that. What I want to do is build a layout on a door like this door from scratch. Now, the first train layout I ever made was from here. All right? What's behind door number one? What's behind door number one? The Dutch, oh man, there's the Dutchman's wood shack. There's the shop. Alright, yeah. I'm down in the hole in the ground. I'm in my bunker. My dust made bunker. Did I tell you that I'm gonna apply for my own zip code? This is gonna be Dustmiteville. Area code 00000. You think I'm joking, right? I'm not. Alright? But anyway, the lesson I'm gonna write up a book on stuff like. And any of you guys that do this kind of train stuff, let me know. Let's do a side by side or something. I could hook up StreamYard. We could do a side by side and talk about this. I need help too, man. I'm right now in the middle of. I'm actually starting to build a Ferris wheel for a circus. My mother-in-law and my wife bought me a kit that has a circus on, a Ferris wheel on it. Pretty good size. Supposedly the Ferris wheel has lights on it and has a motor, and I have to work on it. It's a real bitch, or excuse me, it's a real pain in the butt. But I want to use a door like that to make it a really small demo, and it's like a coffee table setup. And this is where I'm coming into this. You could actually use this stuff to make a small track. There's enough in circumference to make a round circle or to make corners small enough to where you can put some, on it and have a good time with it. It's easy, it's simple, because I've done it a couple of times. And I mean, I'm good. I love to get people started on this. It's like my wood shop too. I love teaching people how to do stuff. I don't know squat when it comes to this stuff. I keep growing every time I turn to the YouTube channel. There's a lot of guys on here that have been helping me, especially with the Engage guys. Can't thank them enough. Oh, I got another shout out to a friend of mine. He runs a radio station. His name is Dennis Green, but it's actually, he calls himself Sonar. It's an AM station, 1410, what they call WRM 1410. He's got a show, it's called a political talk show. It's about politics, but he's been doing a lot of, sending people over to my site for nothing, and I totally appreciate him. If you're into politics, he's on from 4 to 6. He's definitely knows his stuff about stuff. It's different than any talk show. Trust me, this thing is not biased one way or the other. He's down the middle. He's taking everything and saying stuff, but he's a great guy. And I want to get on someday and talk about trains. I love doing this stuff, guys. I really do. I just don't know enough about the electronics end of it to maybe do a podcast or something. I'm just a lone guy with a phone. Anyway, question or comments, feel free to call me or leave me a message there. And if you're interested in my stuff here at the train, let me know. I'm going to start explaining every step I go to. Now, the two things I'm working on the most right now. I have switches over here that I built this nice piece here. I have switches in here, right? And this is all hooked up to the lights that go up. I have one light in the fire station up there, and I have one light in my castle. The problem with that is this part here, these two switches are not working right. I have to hook it up on this accessory here because Part of the problem I had was um, it was the controller is broken. Um, this thing here, I was using this to run a set of tracks up there, and this was supposed to be for the accelerator, the accessories. Problem is, this screw won't hold anything in there unless I glue it, and they have a tendency to come off. So, um, and I unfortunately only have a two controller here. The new stuff they have out there is amazing. You can run it off you can run it off your phone. I'm not that high tech. Now, yeah, I'm confused enough with what I'm doing here. I don't need to add to the crap, you know. Thank you, Bill. Hi, UK. Isn't that kind of early for you guys? It's like 8:30 something here, I think. Almost 9 o'clock p.m. So yeah, so if you have an apartment, okay, if you're in a small room, do something like that. Um, you could take pallets. If you guys know what pallets is, you could take a pallet and pull it apart and make a little table, um, and then put something on it. I've seen guys put stuff in a briefcase. Z gauge. That's what Z gauge is. I saw a guy one time, and I forget where it was at. He opened up the briefcase, and there it is. There's a train in there, and it's. But the Z gauge trains are so small. I don't know. You can't do much with them. It's just a fun thing. Um, so yeah, this is always going to be a work in process. When I'm down with my hip surgery, what I might be doing is changing these cars out. Um, to me, the easiest way is I looked at this and I go, well, I could change this whole thing out, right? And the way it's put together, you should be able to pop it out and put new stuff in. The hardest part is there's a spring in there, trying to keep it back in. It's kind of like my thickness planer. I got springs that hold my blades in. If when I take it apart, I got to make sure that I don't let go of the blade too soon, or otherwise those springs will go boing. And in my shop, with all the crap laying, it would take me for years to find it. Okay, so that's that. But so you got the idea. If you ever go to selecting anything, get your base down first. And if you know how to use a scroll saw and do some woodworking, the key is measuring. And I forget what the circle the circumference is for making a circle, but you have to talk to people who run whatever you're going to put up. The only thing I can tell you is this is probably one of the hardest to do. HO is probably a little bit it's a little bit nicer. It's a little bit easier to do. O gauge is the standard um, Lionel stuff. That's easy, but the problem with O gauge is you need a lot of room. See, if you see where mine is at. Hang on, I'm stuck here. Okay, see where mine is at. Okay, so this is 1962. It's the Texas Flyer Special, 1962, and it runs good. So you do have to do maintenance on them, just like everything else. This, because it's in a basement, I have to constantly clean a track. Especially if I'm making dust out there, and make sure that everything's straight. There's tools you can buy. It's real simple. You can actually make them too if you're a woodworker. You go over the track to make sure everything's straight. Um, Again, these switches are crap. I was listening to some guy talk about Atlas track switches today, and I might take these out. Now there's the pre-formed ones now. They're gray, and I forget what they call them. Same company that makes them, but they're put together. It's like doing those racing. It's like doing slot car tracks where you put them together, but it's solid plastic. That's probably the way to go. That's probably it has formed plastic foam board on it, But you know, you'd have to, if you wanted to take and discolor it and make it black and get the ballast, that's fine. This, I'm gonna put ballast on it, so I don't care what it looks like right now. Even if I got a little messy on here, I'm just gonna take and clean off a little bit. But the ballast will be going on that too. But I got a long ways to go. You know, I got a long ways to go. I started coloring this a little bit. This part came out pretty good. All right, that part I did had an issue with, and I'm not gonna do anything with it. I'm basically gonna just do my best to cosmetically fix it. Do not use the foam in a can. Do not use the foam in a can. I'll tell you why. Can't form it. It gives. It'll crack, and then you got a problem. If you use that, make sure that you're not going to cut into it or do anything with it, because when you press on it, it'll cave in. And what I did is on the other side, I had that issue, but I put plaster of Paris with paper towels in there, or the mesh that you buy from the store. I tend to use paper towels, put it in a bucket full of plaster of Paris, put it out and use it. And it worked out pretty good. I just haven't colorized that part yet. I'm going to leave probably the big bump on the top white, because I'm going to make that a snow cap, and then put forest stuff, trees and stuff in the middle. So that's the gist of it. And I'm going to go up and grab something to eat. I've been on for like 26 minutes, and I appreciate you guys. Let's see what I got. Oh, beef ramen. See, now you're making me hungry. Thanks for showing up, guys. Remember, subscribe to me on my other channel, Jeff's Train World. It's like I don't remember what Jeff's Train World, HOO and Engage. And hopefully I'll be doing this on that instead of in the Dutchmans Wood Shack. I do both, but because I'm kind of fooling around in the wintertime with this, I'm having a blast. I'm having a good time. And, you know, okay, so most guys that I know, with golf, well, I'm playing with trains. So all I got to say is choot choot, and here I go. I don't remember which one's which here. Oh yeah. See, when you're doing this, I took the tunnels and made them so you could see the inside like it's rough dirt, right? That's the other thing. Get creative. I'm gonna put something in there eventually. Let's see here. Here we go. Here we go. I know people hate that when all you're doing is running trains in circles. Who cares? You know what? Before you go, I want to do this. I don't know if I can do this or not. All right, I'm going to hook up my other train. Hang on, I'll hook up the other train. Now, here's the problem with this. Anybody that gets one of those, forewarned, you're going to need a light. Okay, you're going to need a light, because what happens is you go to put this on. Again, there's so many wheels on this thing, it's driving you nuts. And trying to line them up, and it's just like the old train that you see on TV or in person. It's temperamental, especially those front wheels. That you're paying to get lined up. And my eyes are not like they used to be, boy. Okay. I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I got it. Okay. You ready? You guys ready? You ready? I gotta remember which switch is which. This is cool. Listen to that. Now the front end pivots. That is the hardest part right there. Now I hope it doesn't run up the other track. See, it did it. See what I'm talking about? So, my switches are an issue. See, my switches are an issue, so if you guys know anybody that's got N-gauge, no wonder I'm having a problem here. Well, I have to work on that. So, that's, believe it or not, full speed. But that looks awesome, doesn't it? Hang on, watch this. Okay, so now look at the back light now. You see it? See it's got a back light? Now see the inside? Alright, well. So, anyway, we'll let you guys go. I know I found an issue with the track, so that's good. I used to run the train the other direction. It was fine, but when you're going this way, one of the ends of the track is not sitting in there right, so oh well, that's part of the problem. Anyway, I love that train. I got that for Christmas. Just so you know, Cato makes it. And no, it's not cheap. By no means. It's not. I was very fortunate to have this thing. At first, when I saw it at a, I saw it at, B&G trains in Elgin. They have it. Go there. They have both versions. They have two different versions in there. One's steam and one's just like mine. They have it there. It won't be cheap. The people running that store know their stuff. They're really good. The girl behind the counter, she's awesome. So I'm going to let you guys go now. Thanks again for watching the Dutchmans Wood Shack. Again, subscribe to me on here and subscribe to the other one, Jeff's Train World, HO, N-gauge, and O-gauge. And I'll see you later. Remember, if you're not making something, you're not being creative. God bless. Thanks.